I'm Mac Blaze, and I play Willy Wonka.
And I'm Allie Dillinger, and I play Violet Beauregard. Basically, we've just tried to take a combination of all the different elements of things because we are all quite familiar with the story. So we basically put our own interpretation on what elements we choose to take from each thing.
Yeah, I always have loved the Gene Wilder version, and I think it has an incredible message, for everybody. And he just has this aura of cool about him all the time, and I've watched it far too many times since the beginning of this musical. But I hope it comes through because he just produces something on screen that's completely magical, and I really want to be able to capture that on stage. The script that we've been working with for the musical has actually been a combination of both the Depp and the Wilder films, but there were a couple elements like the fizzy lifting drink scene that had to be rewritten, and Ms. Roberts was totally receptive to everything that the students and the cast wanted to do, and that was one of the most wonderful aspects about the show, is that she really, really wanted it to be our production and something that we were close to. And rewriting it so that it was more like the Wilder film, to capture his character, was one thing that I was completely blessed to do. Ms. Roberts allowed me to do a lot of the rewrites, and it was a really, really fun experience.
Honestly, I think I have to say the boat scene is probably my favorite. That's when he sings "There's No Knowing."
The boat scene in the musical has a little bit different of a song than in the movie, in the Gene Wilder film. And we were trying to gear more towards the Gene Wilder film than the Johnny Depp film. But it's very mysterious, very creepy, and while we're singing that song, we're actually rotating on a boat on the middle of the stage, directed by Oompa Loompas. So it's a really funny song, and it's got a lot of high notes that I can finally hit.
I just think it's really cool how we're able to move the boat, and like the way the lights are set and everything, making it seem as realistic as possible. And honestly, being able to just sit in the boat instead of having to move it is honestly a fun experience. It's like our own personal roller coaster. I have to do a Southern accent for my character, so honestly, I don't really speak with a Southern accent myself. And it sounds kind of weird, but since I'm a gum chewer for my character, I honestly feel like I can't do my accent correctly without a piece of gum in my mouth. So honestly, as long as I have a wad of chewing gum, I feel enough in character.
Yeah, it's mostly just about getting in touch with the meaning of the entire play and really kind of recreating what the message is, and recreating a new show for everyone else to see and to love, and it was capturing the energy is important to me.
I think my favorite part of when I can tell he's very in character is the part where he's sitting in his office and Charlie comes in and puts the gobstopper on his desk, because his monologue that follows that is just impeccable and it's perfect.
That was actually one of the scenes that I rewrote. It wasn't originally in the musical script, but I thought that it was a really, really pivotal moment in the story. Wonka is testing Charlie to the absolute extreme, because if you notice subtle cues throughout the film, you can tell that Wonka knew that Charlie was the one that really had the heart of gold, that he was going to be testing the most. And he's already told Charlie that he's failed, and he's just screaming right into his face, and Charlie is faced with the temptation of giving the gobstopper back to Slugworth or not. That decision, me making that decision so difficult for him, and him still coming out as honest and pure as he can possibly be, that is just magical for me.